How's it going today, everyone? This is KaijuFanatic, your host, bringing you a brand new comparison video. We are going to be looking at all of Mondo's Cherry Blossom / glow-in-the-dark San Diego Comic-Con exclusive colorway figures. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Please consider leaving a like on the video, commenting down below if you think these are pretty figures, and subscribing if you haven't already. If you already have, thank you for the continued support. There will be a review sometime this week. And of course, we got that 70th anniversary Godzilla movie marathon review of Godzilla 1998 coming at you this Sunday. So let's not waste any time, dive right in and look at these figures because we have 6 of them to look at. Also, towards the end of the video, well, pretty much the last half of the video because I've already recorded it, we'll be comparing the glow-in-the-dark feature of these figures to each other and the rest of the glow-in-the-dark figures I have in my collection. So the first 2 releases that came out was this 84 Godzilla and this Chibi Hedorah. The first 2 releases, definitely very odd choices, mainly the Hedorah, which Hector himself has even said he would like to go back and do a legitimate Hedorah and a legitimate Jaguar. He's not, in hindsight, not very crazy about these Chibi figures, but we're not here to talk about that. I have reviews on all 6 of these figures on the channel. If you go to my channel, go to the playlist tab. There's a Sofubi review. You'll see all 6 of them in there. But as you can see, this Godzilla is, all of these are a blank glow-in-the-dark vinyl, and then it's pretty much some sort of paint color. This one is pink color. Gee, mini Christmas. This is a pink, kind of like light spray, a little bit, highlight, and then it's got this nice gold for legitimate highlights. And that is it. Very, very basic. There's not a single other Mondo release that looks like this one, making this Godzilla the first and one of the most unique, which technically goes for all of them. None of them look exactly the same. They all have kind of their own differences, but it's interesting that this Godzilla is just very basic like this, especially when comparing it to this Hedorah here, which has the chrome pink, which is kind of more regularly used, and a more mute gold highlight, which is very interesting, and then with the red and black gold eyes. Very, very nice. Very different. These were pretty inexpensive, but these sold out in seconds due to mostly scalpers, and pretty much had to pay a pretty penny for these, which I know I did. So the next 2 releases, we're going to just set them off to the side because you'll see them again in the next video, or the next part of the video. The next 2 that we got was Biollante, and we got Jet Jaguar, or a Chibi Jet Jaguar. Jet Jaguar also, oh goodness, just like Godzilla, very, very different. We've actually got more of like a rose pink on this figure instead of the traditional like hot pink that they're using. I really do like this though. It sets it apart from the other figures, and the gold has almost got like this kind of like glittery texture to it, and it just looks super, super nice. It's a very nice looking Cherry Blossom figure. Definitely different. It's unique. It stands out, but yet it also doesn't look too far off from the rest of the line, besides, you know, the design being chibi. The main release from this line, or from this year, this was 2022, at least when it was physically in our hands, is the Biollante. And this Biollante is absolutely gorgeous. The camera really shows, it exaggerates the hot pink, kind of like the Hedorah here. It's kind of the same pink, and it's just all throughout the body. That's the main color, which is why it doesn't really glow. The base glow-in-the-dark mold under it doesn't really shine through very well, but you guys will see that. And then we've got this kind of more mute gold highlights that are just all throughout the body. It's painted wonderfully, very, very nice. Definitely stands out, even with the 2 newer ones behind it. She is a huge, unique piece, and I'm still very much in love with this Biollante. Now, for the final 2, we've got the 2 new boys. We've got Space Godzilla, which is... We're going to raise the camera up a little bit here. And Rodan. Also, very, very different and unique to each other. They both kind of take things from older releases, so it's kind of like one gets a more metallic pink with, you know, mute gold highlights, and then the other one gets more brighter really gold highlights and more of like a flat mute pink, which is kind of what the Space Godzilla is. There's a lot of like soft pink in this figure. And then it has the sharper, shinier gold. And the other thing that Space Godzilla has that none of them have is a ton of blue highlights, which aesthetically, not incorporating the glow in the dark, I absolutely love. I love the way this figure looks. This blue works nicely. It almost makes me kind of wish that they did that with Rodan as well. But Rodan, instead of getting blue, got green. And it's very, very, very subtle. It's mainly only on the Mothra larva. But there's a little bit here, as you can see. And here's that more rosy pink rather than the hot pink. And then it's kind of like a mix. It's just very interesting on the Rodan that they used pretty much all of the pinks that they've used before. And then we've got the base glow-in-the-dark mold here. This is pretty much unpainted. And then we've got that more mute gold again. And then we got green eyes. Very, very nice looking. This whole line of Mondo Cherry Blossom figures are definitely very unique. They're very different from each other, which is why I love to collect all of them, because not a single one looks exactly the same. There's always been a little bit of different technique, different paint shades, and it's just made this line, you know, this colorway, a ton of fun to collect. I mean, these are a big headache to buy and purchase, but I absolutely have a lot of fun with it. And like I said earlier, and as I'll say later as well, I can't wait to see the Gabra set, which pretty much soft confirmed, we got told it's part of the main Sofubi line, and all the main Sofubi line figures get this colorway. So the Gabra set is probably going to get that. You know, it's not guaranteed yet, but it really is suggested that it's going to get this Cherry Blossom colorway, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with 3 figures in the set. You get the Minya, you get the Godzilla, and you get the Gabra. This gives them a chance to either make all 3 kind of uniform and the same, or all 3 are going to be different, which might mean that only the Gabra set will be up this year, because that's 3 figures you have to paint. But there's normally 2 mainline releases, and we still haven't seen the second one. There is a chance we might start getting the teases this month. I would say probably more likely in May. A lot of rumors floating around. Hector himself said he wanted to do a GMK Godzilla, or he really, really, really wants to do Destroya. I'd be down for Destroya, because if it's anything like this Space Godzilla and this Rodan, it's going to be huge. Is it going to be expensive? Yes. But is it going to be huge? Hell yeah. So, here's hoping to one more release, and then maybe those new Empire figures getting a Cherry Blossom release as well. I mean, might as well go for broke, right? It's not like I want to save money or anything. Go to Japan sometime. Damn you, Mondo. Let's check out the glow in the darks, shall we?
4 hours later.
All right. So these have been charging for 4.5 hours under my LED lights. All of these have been charging pretty much, well, actually, that's incorrect. The Mondo figures have been charging for 4.5 hours. Everything else that's not a Mondo release has actually only been charging for 3.5 hours. And we're going to see how everything looks compared to each other glowing, because that's one of the things that Mondo hasn't done very well, is the glow factor. The Rodan and Space Godzilla have gone better, but they sit in front of my window, direct sunlight, and I still don't see them glow half the time. And Gigan sits away from it, the 450, and still glows. So when I turn the lights off, hopefully the camera will show it if it's bright enough. If not, I'll get a few photos for you guys. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. Oh, okay. So there's some issues. 1, Bylante is almost not glowing at all. 84 is kind of glowing. Hedorah is kind of glowing. Jet Jaguar is kind of glowing. Space Godzilla is glowing a lot at the top. Rodan is glowing magnificently. But the 84 has already lost its charge. I can see it in person on camera. It's still going to look a little bright, but the 84 has already pretty much lost its charge. And then everything else is glowing magnificently. Like, the Geigen's got a lot of paint on it, but even still it shines brighter than almost all the Mondos combined besides Rodan. The Onraku, the M1 GMK, and the blank G-Fest exclusive G-Fantas is shining gorgeously. And this is my problem. They've been charging for 4.5 hours. And the only one that can glow is Rodan. That's sad. Biollante is not even glowing at all. Biollante is completely gone. See, here's my finger. Biollante is gone. Not charging anymore. So, but at least you can see the 84. I think you can see Jet Jaguar and Hedorah. My tripod stand is grabbing it. I know I can see Rodan. Rodan is bright. Rodan is right up there with the Onraku and Saku and the GMK. And the GMK is also losing its glow a little bit, which is kind of surprising. In fact, all of them are pretty much going away besides Rodan and the G-Fantas. Everything else is kind of already starting to lose its glow a little bit, which is kind of ominous. Yes, the Mondo stuff is really blue, which is kind of cool. Like, the Space Godzilla looks really, really cool. Jet Jaguar looks really cool in the dark. Hedorah looks pretty cool as well. It probably isn't showing up on camera, but you can see where it's painted, and it gives it like almost like a different like 3D texture almost to it. It gives it depth. And the 84, you can see like the gold patches, but it's not crazy. And like I said, even looking at the Biollante, not through the camera, like, I can see the mouths of the tentacles, and that's about it. So, this is an interesting test. I'm kind of shocked that the Marusan and the M1 is already losing its glow. I mean, the Mondo Rodan is still holding it pretty strong. In fact, I would say the Mondo Rodan is still the brightest thing on the table right now. So that kind of shows that they are moving in a better direction. Oh my God. But I hope it continues that trend. These next few San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Cherry Blossom glow-in-the-darks need to be even better, or at least as good as Rodan. Okay? And that's my concern. So, I just wanted to add this little bit at the end here, guys, to show you the glow-in-the-darks, to show Mondo has been improving throughout the years, but we're still not out of the woodworks yet. Rodan is great, but Space Godzilla is already not as impressive. So, hopefully this was a fun, informational video for you guys. I know it's not a review, technically, but I had fun doing it. Have a wonderful day, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next review. And the Godzilla 1998 70th anniversary movie marathon review coming this Sunday. Bye, guys.